This week on Jaywalking, I'm joined by a very, very good friend of mine, a guy that when I first started comedy was there to tell me everything I was doing wrong, but for the right reasons. And he is like a brother to me. I don't have a brother. He hates me like I'm his brother. You're going to love this episode because he reveals a lot about me that you didn't know. So stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Jaywalking. Here on the podcast today with Steve Bickel. No, it wouldn't be crazy if that's how I started every time. Oh, my God. No, I'm so glad. Guys, you don't even know what's in store for you today because you know what? I felt good about myself, and I was like, who can I bring on that will just take me down a few pegs? Bit. No, a very good friend of mine and amazing comedian, Steve Bickel, in the house on Jaywalking.
Oh, my friend, thank you so much. I want to get some things right out.
Oh,
I want
please.
to get things right out.
Let's do this.
One, I'm surprised that you asked me to do this. Okay, I'm thinking that somebody had to cancel last minute. It had to be because it's just I think what you do now. Everything I say here is definitely a compliment. It's going to sound a certain way at first, but. I mean, what I see that you're doing is you have a lot of people on here that come in, they kiss the ring, and that's why I said I'm surprised you had me because I'm not going to come in here and sit here and the nicest guy in comedy, blah blah blah, you're so funny and all that stuff. I remember it was a few years ago. You came to me, and this was a night I never saw somebody do so much coke in my life. It would have killed a horse. And you come to me, and you say, Steve. And I say, yeah. And you said, I think this Me Too thing's going to be really bad for me. Remember that? And I couldn't understand why you said that. And then that whole thing about the goldfish came out. And then I understood, my point being is that I'm here to let people know the real monster that Jay Yoder is.
Oh, my God. At least it was Coke Zero. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wow. I mean, you were flying. It was like a hurricane of arms and limbs, and it was just amazing. But
could you imagine? I mean, I would be so skinny. It would be so great.
Well, that's what I said. I never saw somebody gain weight on Coke.
I was doing it wrong. I was like Coke and heroin. I was going to Wawa. I thought it was a deli combo.
Just what a horrible human being you are.
I know. Actually, that's usually how I say is like how I met, and I remember exactly when I met you. Do you remember when we?
Yes. Well, no, I remember. Yeah, I mean, I met you. You used to come to the mic at over at Great American Pub.
Yes.
For a while, and you came. I think you used to come with your wife. I thought that was cute.
That was our date night.
And then and you had kids, and I remember I said, "Who's watching the kids?" And you were like, "Stop asking so many questions."
You're like, what's your address? What's your social security number?
Yeah, but so you met. I met you there. I know that you were immediately. I always liked doing mics because I always was amazed at people who would come up and you would see people who were horrible and they got really good, or you'd see people that kind of just were what they were and never went one way or the other. And then, there were people that were like good right off the bat. And I think you were like one of those people that were good right off the bat because I think you were very comfortable on stage, which is, I think, one of the hardest parts for some people. I never had that problem because, I probably should have been less comfortable on stage. But I think that's for some people, and I feel bad for people that are very funny. And I can think of people, and I don't want to bring their names up, but I can think of people that were very funny but were very uncomfortable even in an open mic setting. And got good and got comfortable, but like I'm glad I didn't have to overcome. I don't think you really had to overcome that. I think you were very natural, even if all the material wasn't there yet. I think you were very natural on stage. Then I'm watching you and I go, "Oh, this guy will be fine." And you definitely were. And you went from like I think you did 2 open mics and then you were headlining somewhere. So
no, I actually. I appreciate you saying that. It's a nice compliment. So now I'm never going to hear another one.
Well, you
for
paid me to
years.
say that.
Yeah. And then I always enjoyed it because you were the show. Like, you were the glue that held the land of misfit toys
Yeah.
together. And like I said, that's why my wife and I came out, because we're like, oh, this is fun. We're going to get a $5 pizza. Jabul's going to be there doing something crazy.
Oh my God, that fucking guy.
But it was like I don't know, just had a vibe to it that was more than just, and the next comic is.
Well, it's either that or I hate bad hosting. I really do. It drives me nuts. I mean, it's like, and it to me, and I think a lot of people, it's like it seems so easy. And I think it is so easy, but then it's like other people were like, no, it's hard. I guess, I don't know. I think it's a certain type of person that you go up there, like, let's just have fun. None of this is serious.
Yeah.
Like, make everybody feel like they're welcome there. And it's funny because it's like, I'm a ball. I break balls all the time. But I think I did it in a way that was like, if I used to always say to people, if I didn't break your balls, then I didn't like you. Then I didn't like you.
Yeah.
So if I'm breaking your stones, then it's because I like you. People I didn't like you would know because I just would go up and go, and now your next comic is this guy, and that was it. You know. But it's like, that was a good room. Grape was a good room. I loved hosting there. I missed the Grape.
Yeah, that was cool for me too, because that like amped. For me, that was like moving up to like. Going, like, if you play basketball and I'm like playing on the suburban court, but then you go down to the court like in the city where like LeBron shows up every once in a while. And
But it also was another room that was very accommodating to people. There were a lot of rooms in the city that weren't. Even when I started, and even to this day, there are rooms that are too cliquey, too much of a hang. And I like a good hang. I think the Grape was a hang. Yeah. But the Grape wasn't cliquey. Like, the Grape wasn't like not accommodating to outsiders. I made a point to say, hey, either this person's, it's their first time, or it's a new person. Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming out. Instead of like that whole thing of like, oh, who are you? We don't know you yet. Yeah. You know, you're not in like this group, which is, that's like a Philly thing. And to me, it's always people that aren't from Philly that are running a room. The quote unquote, I'm a Philly comic. Yeah. Because you lived here 8 months, and that type of thing. Like, I always got that vibe from those types of rooms where it's like, this person's like, not even from here, but they're, it's like, I think I told you before the time I went, I did a mic, and I was up there, and like people were like laughing at me, but not when I'm telling a joke. And like I got off, and they were laughing at my accent, and I'm like, but I'm from Philadelphia.
Yeah,
and I'm at a Philly mic, and you're laughing at me. It's almost like if you hosted a mic, or you went to a mic in Australia and you were laughing at their Australian accent. You're like, look at this jerk off here, fucking kangaroos. It's like so. But yeah, mic rooms are but I think they've always been that way. They're But it is what it is.
But it was such a cool vibe. It was great to me. I'm glad that, because that was a time when it was still pandemic-y, so things weren't as open, and that was like one of the first that started opening up, and so I enjoyed. That was like the cool, just like, hey, let's go see Steve and have a $5 pizza on a Monday. I'll do a couple minutes, and that was back when for me it was just like, oh, it was Sunday softball. Like, oh, it'd be fun to go hit a ball and drink a beer, and now it's like so crazy to take it all in. And now that I announced last episode that publicly that obviously I'm not teaching anymore, and I'm
because of the sex scandal.
The sex scandal. Yeah, I'm still allowed within 200 yards. I haven't told the kids yet. I haven't told my students yet. They're gonna find out.
They'll probably know when you don't show up.
Yeah, they probably.
Like after a week.
How long do I wait? I'm like, can I get to Christmas break? And because my last day is the 20th. I wanted it to be clean. I'd give them the semester, and then like end it at the semester, and then just kind of right off into the sunset. I mean, I'll still be in education. I'm still like, who knows? Maybe I'll go back at some point, but. Now, like, I get to go talk with other. I think the value for me now is like I'd rather take the 21 years experience and just go help other teachers who maybe are feeling like I was feeling, and just say, hey, I see you, and I hope you don't have to go through what I went through, and maybe it's a note to the administrators out there who aren't like supporting their teachers in a way. I mean, because even though you're not a teacher, you're in public service, so you get like how the man can like sort of the bureaucracy of things.
I mean that's definitely a dream of changing it. I mean, I think dealing with the teachers definitely is where you're going to make more ground than I'm just a
100%.
I'm a very negative person towards any type of administration. I truly am. I would love to wear your rainbow sunglasses and see the world as a nice, shiny, happy place.
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait. I mean, there are administrators that are the reason that this happens. So, like, last night I did a show at Punchline, and like I asked if there were any teachers, and it was a woman. She's like, "Oh, I'm a dean of students." I'm like, "Oh, you're an admin." And I just walked away, and everybody, everybody's laughing at it because we all get it, like, because we're all used to the killers of creativity. And during the pandemic, it was funny because educationally during the pandemic, I was thriving because creativity was needed. And so then I was able to step up and solve all these problems for people. And I just did it out of the goodness of my heart. I didn't see an extra dime for the hours and the effort I gave to figuring out how to do attendance. I was responsible for how they figured out how to do attendance during the pandemic, how to get messages to the students. I was going and hooking up hotspots in like the like projects of our homes for like the families who were less fortunate and didn't have Wi-Fi. And, so I'm at no extra cost, no extra time card submitted, and my thanks was nothing.
Yeah, well, I mean, what did you expect?
I know.
I mean, that's the thing is.
The thanks were the family and the gratefulness to them.
And if you're doing it for any type of kudos, you're doing it.
And I wasn't. I really wasn't. But
because you're not going to get that.
No, but like if I now say to you, now I'm having all these opportunities. Doing cool things, speaking at conferences, and bringing levity to teachers. And I say to you, hey, you know what? I got these 6 things. I'd really love to go do them. Can we make both of these work? I just need 6 unpaid days. Please don't pay me. Pay a fraction of me and let me go do this. And then they're like, no.
The thing is I think about myself a lot, and I kind of try and instill this into my kids a lot. And I think this resonates with you. It's me. It's people like us. We were not built to work for people.
Yeah.
We're not built to work for people. It clashes. You doing all that, whatever you did during the pandemic. I know you had a whole list of things that you did. But you doing that probably went up the ass of so many people.
Yeah.
Just the fact that you were doing that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And I say that to my kids. I'm like, if you can, work for yourself. I was like, because you're not going to get anything out of working for other people. If anything, you're just going to get a lot of heartbreak from it because, what your values are and their values are 2 totally different things. And I don't know if it needs to be that way in order for the system to work. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's a perfect world where you line up perfectly with it and you got your parade and everybody said, oh my God, I can't believe what he did. And I don't know if that works out. I don't know, but I just know that it's if you're working for anybody and that there's an administration involved with it, and you're any type of free thinker, any type of go-getter, any type of that, you're going to rub somebody the wrong way.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened to me. My previous job, I love where I'm at now, but my previous job, I mean, any type of initiative that you showed rub somebody the wrong way. Like, oh, is this guy gunning for my job? Because you got to realize they're all ladder climbers.
Yeah.
That's all they are. So when they see somebody with initiative, they instinctively go into this person's trying to take my
it's
job.
Like Siege of the Castle.
Yeah,
throw that
and
ladder
whereas
off. Yeah.
you and I are just like, no, we're just trying to be good people, and we think that this would work. They immediately are like, you're coming for my job, so now I got to try and knock you down a peg.
Yeah.
And what do you do against that? I don't know. I don't have an answer.
It's crazy.
For that.
Yeah, you're right. Because I blindly now looking back on it, hearing you say that was like, oh, that's so clearly what was happening. But at the time, I'm just like Captain America and this whole thing out of like a boy wonder sense of like, because that's how I got into education. I wasn't like a particularly good student. I struggled in math. But when I started getting a tutor and I got comfortable, I started passing that information on to my buddies who didn't get a tutor and couldn't afford one. And so that was just like, oh, you're down a peg on the mountain. Let me reach down and pull you up to me.
Yeah.
And that was and I hadn't considered that there's someone above trying to kick me down.
That's the thing. That's what I was saying earlier. That's the adult thing to realize. Not everybody is trying to help everybody.
Yeah.
And that's where, I think, that's happened to me. That's happened to you. It's happened to countless people where you think I am trying to help somebody. You don't realize that there's somebody that's the complete opposite of you that is like, no, I'm trying to make sure nobody takes what is mine, and I'm going to do whatever I have to do to, passive aggressively or just straight out aggressively keep them down from doing that. And, it happens, and you go, oh, crap, that happens. I mean, especially like, you get thrown under the bus for something, and you're like, oh, so people actually do that to people, like when you really didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, and then you just get caught up in this thing of like, almost like, is this a movie? Like, this is like people do this. I think the best way to disarm people, especially in those situations, is you just look at them and go, are you actually doing that?
Yeah.
Like, are you like, you try and get them to have a moment of clarity. Like, are you the evil person?
Yeah.
But then in all truth, all the best villains don't know they're villains.
That's true.
And that's what it is. They're self-righteous. They think that what they're doing is not in any way evil or not in any way trying to kick somebody down. They're in that fight or flight type of thing, and they're fighting because they think you're trying to take their job.
Anytime I watch a politician now, like these clips of like, just like Heggs, whatever that guy, the Department of War guy now, like somebody was, and it was just like, hey, did you authorize this to happen? Yes or no? And like, then you just heard like they could not say yes or no. They had to like,
oh yeah, well,
and you're watching them, and they're in that moment. They're in that stage where they're not thinking. They're just in their own fight or flight moment of keeping that. And that's whenever I watch a politician, I'm like, oh, okay, that's that same thing.
And if they're pressed, which every now and then people will go, reporters, they'll go, well, why didn't they keep pressing it? Why don't they keep pressing it? It's like one of those things almost dealing with a heckler on stage. Well, why don't you just go right after him? There's a finesse to it, to where if you go too hard, too fast and everything, you look like the bad guy. You want to make them look like the bad guy. It's the same thing. Like those journalists, like if they say, oh, did you order that? Well, I know you want to talk about that, but if you look over here, and then why didn't they go, no, but I didn't ask you that. Yeah. Because eventually, then they'll just shut down.
Give them the rope to hang himself.
Yeah, but they'll also shut down the interview if you just keep going back to it. Like, I asked you this question. I asked you this question. And keep going back to it. Because you'll see it. They'll go, well, we're done with this interview.
Yeah.
So you got to almost, to a certain extent, let them.
It's a game. There is a game. And you're like, well, yeah, if I hit the ball, there's not going to be there to hit it back. So you got to lobby.
And showing that they didn't answer the question is pointing something out to the public. You're hoping the public is somewhat intelligent to go, you all notice that they sidestepped that completely, and now they're talking about friggin' Disney World, and we're asking them how they killed 17 apparently we're at war with Venezuela now, and I can't even point that out on a map, but apparently I don't know what the hell happened there.
I just watched the clips, and I'm just, the whole like way he treats reporters too, like the whole Trump talking to the one piggy, be quiet piggy. That's wild to me that like.
Well, we live, that's like I say that like even like during my set now, like, every generation says we live in a crazy world. We actually live in a crazy world. The only thing I can say, and like I say to people that are on the ledge and everything, is this too shall pass.
Well, that's
it's not forever, everybody. This is not the first wacky administration.
But it is bleeding out into everybody else being empowered to say whatever.
They were always there. They were always there.
Yeah, but I feel like
everybody had a crazy uncle.
Yeah, I guess
everybody had a crazy uncle. The only I'm old because I sit there and go, I blame the internet. Everybody had a crazy uncle. It's the internet brought them all together.
Yeah, that's
true.
They
never had. They would show up one, and then you have
a union now.
Yes, they found a voice.
Yeah,
it's like, and that's all it is. Like, none of these people are new. None of these people are going anywhere. It is what it is. It will. I have to think that things will equal out eventually. Yeah. Like I said, you go back in time.
Start building an ark right now.
They were killing presidents left and right back in the day. It's like I don't know if you saw that. What was that thing on Netflix recently? That Death by Lightning. The thing about, I think it was about like Garfield or something like that. And,
okay, I'm going to check it out.
It's showing that we've always had mental health issues because that's who shot him, and it's literally exactly what happens now, but it actually was worse because there was more access to people. There were, but none of this is new, unfortunately.
That's true. You're right.
Nothing is new. History repeats itself.
It does.
I mean, they didn't come up with that saying just for the hell of it.
No, you're right.
It's everybody just needs to simmer down.
Yeah, have an outlet.
Simmer down.
Get a hobby.
It's like ride it out. Put the boards on the windows. Get the sandbags. Put them there. Ride the storm out.
Yeah.
And the sun will rise again. And then we'll another storm will come.
That's right. But we'll still have the supplies from the last one, so we'll be ready.
Ride it out. You can't let crazy make you crazy.
That's true.
That's the thing. You can't let like even in your situation, like we were just talking about, you can't let that then make you this like callous, like.
And I did. I did.
Of course, because that's human nature. Why wouldn't you? But you can't live in that. You can't let.
Well, that's why this all for me too is this emotional, like, wow, like I feel an emotional weight, even though I'm still there and I'm still there.
Mm-hmm.
But like, wow, I just feel an emotional weight lifted. And then I was like, I'm doing fun stuff. I went to I don't go to concerts, if you can imagine. I went to a concert like years ago, and it was a country concert.
Mm-hmm.
My buddy, who I have lunch with every day, is a guidance counselor, and he's like, do something not comedy for the night. Come with me. There's this concert I always go to, this group. My buddy who usually can't come. Come, I have a ticket. And it was Guar. Yes.
Nice.
Didn't tell me anything. Told me to wear what I would wear to mow the lawn.
Wear a rain suit.
Yeah, wear what you would wear to mow the lawn. And that's all he said. And so I went in blind, went to the Fillmore, and wow. Like, to go from country to, because then they had 3 bands opening up. Blood Vulture.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that was my parents' wedding band, Blood Vulture.
The Dwarfs, who were like 6 feet tall.
Oh yeah.
And Helmet,
yeah.
And then it was Guar with Gore,
which is it's that Guar is like a throwback to.
It was like an '80s wrestling fever dream timed in with He-Man live action movie.
It's theater. I mean, whether you.
But they're political. Apparently, they're political because they, and I guess in past shows, have, theoretically killed political characters on the stage. So that's what you said. It was like quasi-political. This one didn't seem overly. I couldn't figure it out. But there was like blood spewing from the person's thing. Like every song was a battle against another. Yeah. Like it was like a cheesy He-Man episode. Yeah. And then, but the people there were like into it. There were younger people. There's kids there.
That's a little nuts.
There was a dude with a kid on his shoulders in the pit, white shirt, and I'm like, they're in unison yelling, "F this place, F this," and then the kid's there with the earphones, and I'm like, wow, I thought I was a bad dad, but maybe I am, because my kid can't watch Frozen 2.
Good dad.
My kid can't watch Frozen 2 because of the giants from the north, and this person's watching a warlock spill blood out on them. Well, and I'm like, you know what? I am raising wusses.
Maybe you should take your kids to a Guar.
That's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking we're going to Guar together. Katie's going to learn. She's going to cry a lot, but she's going to learn.
Hey, I've learned some of my best lessons in life while crying.
Oh, and then this was crazy. So then my buddy tries to pull me into the pit with him, and I'm like, I'm not. First of all, I'm not pushing these people out of the way. I sit back. He goes in. He comes out, covered in like blue and red, and he's like, I got my phone pickpocketed. So they had a series of pickpockets had gone into the mosh. Concert. And so apparently there were so many people that like they found one guy trying to leave. They caught 4 of them. They each had like 15 phones on them, wallets, money. He got his phone back. They actually shut the exits down. They caught it. The police came. We missed the whole second half of the concert. I was heartbroken. But we were outside because they had to wait in line. They're all covered in like food coloring, signing a form to go talk to the detective to look at like a lineup of phones to see if it was theirs. But hey, I was kudos to the police department and Live Nation or whoever.
See, now
does the
I'm
Fillmore.
surprised to hear you say that because you've been historically very anti-cop.
You know what? I wasn't going to bring it up. I wasn't going to, because I think all lives matter.
Very anti-police. Since I remember the first time I met you.
You are starting so many conspiracies. So I've done coke, apparently. I've done.
I remember the first time I met you. You had the F the police shirt on, and I said, I remember saying, I really wish you wouldn't wear that here. And
I was like free speech though.
oh, you were blasted that night. You were. I mean, I've seen you really like bad sometimes, but that was one of the worst nights I've ever seen you. And I remember saying to people, I think he's going to be dead in a few years.
Well, hey, there's still time. It's fine.
I mean, it was. I'm glad. I will say this. I'm glad you've cleaned it up. You know,
like you got kids, man.
I
like,
know.
Like,
I
sit
couldn't
down.
believe,
There's an intervention at one
I couldn't
point.
believe that. I remember your wife. She was crying in a booth, and I was like, somebody go talk to her, and it was that was crazy. That was a crazy night, and it was a Sunday, which I thought was weird.
I'm just gonna clip this with no context for anybody. Be like, what's going on? This will be great. I mean, the ratings are gonna go up. This is gonna be good for my street cred.
No,
you know?
I mean, yeah.
This is what I'm like. No, but yeah, I could have met Guar. Like, I just never. But here's what I thought. So I'm sitting there in this concert, and I'm looking at them in their glory, and I'm like, half the time with the opening bands, I couldn't understand a freaking word they were saying.
Yeah.
But then I realized, that's not the point. The noise is just filling people's heads so that they're not thinking about all the other nonsense in their life. It's literally just move your body, fill with noise, and now you can't have the intrusive thoughts anymore for the next 3 hours.
Well, that's most of my comedy is just.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just noise.
I mean, I'm looking at these costumes, and I'm like, you know what? Some people go to Italy, right?
Yeah.
This is somebody's Sistine Chapel right here. This guy.
Nobody knows a Guar song.
No.
Nobody's ever said, "What's your favorite Guar song?" And they're like, "Oh, I really like Cock Muncher." That's my
right.
favorite Guar song.
Yeah, and hey, what's your favorite Botticelli painting?
Exactly.
It's like,
I only know the pasta, so
yeah, that's it. I was a big Barilla guy. Whatever happened to Barilla? Are they gone?
No, I just ate Barilla.
Did you?
Barilla,
Okay.
the blue box, right?
Yeah. We
that.
shop at Aldi's. That's probably no more name brands.
I'm Lidl.
Oh, Lidl's
Lidl has
good.
Barilla?
Lidl, Aldi. I think Lidl and Aldi hang.
Lidl's good for like being disappointed that they don't have the things you like.
Lidl has the bakery and the deli though, right?
Sure.
Which Aldi doesn't.
No, they don't
Aldi's
have a
just
deli. They have a bakery.
Oh, they have a bakery.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I always go to Lidl with a list, and they'll definitely have at least 10% of it.
Yeah.
And my wife convinces me it's the best store ever. They have Pop Torts, so you get yourself some Pop Torts.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, everything is everything's a knockoff. They have salt and pepper. So if you need any other seasonings other than
That's
that,
it.
you need to go to like a spice market or something. But yeah, it's. I don't know. I've been convinced that it's a great store.
I've been convinced.
Oh, I think my wife, like, I don't know if she's like got money into it or something like that.
Yeah, she's invested.
Well,
do they let their cashier sit down when they check you out? Right? Is that the?
I never even saw a cashier there.
Oh no,
no, you just.
It's like CVS. Nobody works there.
Yeah, you just go in and you take whatever you want. No, it's
it's a co-op.
I mean, it's funny if you just fill your cart and go out the front door. Nobody rarely says anything to you. But no, it's Lidl. Oh God, Lidl, Aldi. Aldi looks like the back room of an Acme.
Yeah.
Like, like where they didn't stock everything
we can't
yet.
sell this to real people. Let's just let some weirdos come in the back and see what they want out of this.
It's like if you ask for lettuce, they look confused.
Yeah.
They don't know it. Anything past iceberg.
It's like not there.
But
my wife does all the shop, but she's got to go to 7 places. I'm like, that seems just crazy to me because every place is somewhere different. Costco, and it's too much for me. It's too much strategic.
So you're letting her drive now? Because I remember we were talking. God, wait. See, that's what I said. That's why. Let me stop. You can cut any of this out that you want.
No, this is all.
You cut anything,
in.
But I said to you that's why I was surprised you had me here because I remember a couple years ago we were having a conversation.
Oh yeah,
and
that's right.
I was talking about my wife and how she was picking the kids up.
And you made I was like, you only have one, which is weird.
You made a face, and I said, "What's with the face?" And you were like, "Picking the kids up. You let her drive." And I said, "Of course." And you at that point said that you had not allowed your wife to get a license. And I thought that was odd. So now when you say
Yeah.
that your wife does this, now does she walk to the store or you just
Oh no, she bicycles. We're Amish, so it's it's part.
takes the horse?
Yeah, it's really just a tradition for me. I went on a Rumspringer, but I said no, this life's for me.
I appreciate, like I said, I've never seen such growth in a person that I have, and I'm learning a lot of different things because you really present yourself different on this podcast.
I know I do. Yeah, people are really, it's, I wanted people to know the real me, and I said, how can I?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Let's ease them in. Like,
Yeah, let me just get Steve on here for like a hot 45.
Let's ease.
We'll just dip our toe in the water because it's going to be a brave new world. That's why everybody's waiting to see if my comedy's going to change now that I'm not like on this hindrance of, I'm like, no, I'm still that guy unless you ask Steve Bickel.
Well, I remember, I would say if we do talk about comedy, I think your comedy has definitely changed. It's definitely matured. I remember it was definitely more racially motivated in the beginning.
Yeah.
But I remember saying, it was a couple of years ago I was talking to you, and I remember saying to you,
it's like when comics are like, the other day.
I remember I said that a lot, you had, just forget it.
No, we can't because we'd have to bleep it out.
I remember you said, I said to you, you used to do 25 minutes.
In between acts when I hosted for you.
You did 25 minutes on space lasers. And I said, I think you're doing too much.
What do you see the hot 25 I'm doing tonight in front of Vecchione on Guar?
Yeah. So I'm glad. So I would say that your comedy has definitely come a long way. It's definitely less offensive.
Yeah, I had to really tone it down.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you came out hot. You came out hot.
Well, Jeremy Hupsher is someone that I was really aspired to be like. That he actually came out to. I did a new material, Mike.
He's still alive.
He's still alive.
Okay.
He actually was in the hospital for a while.
I know there was a GoFundMe.
There was
that's
a
never
GoFundMe.
good. It's never good when you have a GoFundMe.
No. And I did this like new material where I brought like 4 comics, like, Chris Kosha and some other guys to do new material. They became the panel, and then we bucket pulled so that some of the newer comics could come out. Well, he came out. He actually did the tightest 2.5 minutes I've ever seen him do.
And it was good stuff.
And actually, it was really entertaining. He got some really good feedback from Meg Getz and Chris Kosha.
Wow.
With some like things to like think about that I think he was, because he's not someone who would be normally like taking he wouldn't take feedback because he's better than you. Like, he could never. That was his attitude for a while, and I think he got a lot out of it. So it was like a cool experience, and I'm like, oh, even like that's what I wanted for the mic, because there was no collaboration. You weren't seeing people come on Tuesday nights anymore out to Joel's in the suburbs that were like, pro Philly comics like we did during COVID. So this was a way to kind of be like, well, all these guys are just around each other. Nobody's above that's kind of making them play to a higher level. And so I wanted to kind of create that vibe at least once a month.
Yeah.
And so, so it was kind of cool to see it all come together, which is going to be fun. So maybe I'll get you out there for one of those.
Yeah.
I would love that.
That would be great, buddy.
I got and then like late night. I've been doing those late night laughs. I think you came out and did one for me.
Yes.
At least one.
Yeah. That was a couple years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Or a year ago. I don't know when that was.
It all blends together.
Yeah,
it really does.
Somebody will be like, "Oh, remember we did this thing?" And I was like, "That was 6 years ago." Like, Jesus Christ!
I got to guess. Well, my first ever show where people that I was given a spot when people paid money to be was a guest spot on that show. That it was you, K Mac.
Yes.
Richie Burns.
Maybe.
And somebody else.
Yeah, I think Richie was there. Yeah. Was it who was it? See, that's the thing. I think it was a female comic, and we know your thoughts on that.
I know. How did they get there?
Drive? You were like traditionally, you were like,
that's
you forget them, they're not funny. And I said, that's not true at all.
Was it Nora Traben? No.
It might have been.
But yeah,
I love Nora Traven.
But that was like, so that was, and I remember you were very gracious to me. You told me to quit and just never come back.
Yeah.
But after that, like stepping on laughs, there were like little technique things that you were really like the pausing and like some of those things that were so valuable.
Anybody I've ever given advice to has become way more successful than me, so I'm glad.
Well, hey, that's how I felt, because that's why they'd say teachers. That's why I felt as a teacher. I was like, oh, I wasn't as good as this.
But see, I never wanted to get into teaching. Yeah. So,
well, you just in your blood. It's in your DNA.
I was trying.
You're uplifting
to corrupt.
Yeah,
you know.
I know. I'm actively trying to discourage you guys. I want to get home earlier, so stop coming to this mic.
I remember you did. You had a guitar, and you were like, "I'm going to do 5 songs," and I remember saying to you, "I don't think your playing was up to."
Yeah.
I remember you played a little bit for me first, and I didn't think you really understood how like a guitar worked.
We only had 2 strings.
Yeah.
It was weird.
And I remember I said to you, I was like, "How about you don't do the guitar stuff and just do like maybe like some family stuff and teaching
and
stuff."
you encouraged me to put my clothes back on.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes. Yeah. Well, everybody. That was actually somebody said to say that to you.
Yeah, but
I was like,
you were the one to step up.
Yeah.
And do
so
it,
and then hey, look, here's the thing: you put the guitar down.
Yep.
And here we are.
And here we are.
I was like, talk about teaching, talk about family. I was like, talk about things that you know, because you did like.
What did I do?
You had 10 minutes on. It was like LGBTQ stuff, and I said I wouldn't do that. And
well, I just thought it was tied in with Anne Frank and the whole Third Reich. So
you compared yourself to. It was weird because I never saw somebody compare themselves to being in a concentration camp and also being a guard at a concentration camp, which I thought, how did he go from one thing to the other? And I said, probably don't do that stuff.
Probably don't do that yet. I have that in my notebook. I wrote that down. As Steve said,
there was a lot of bizarre.
Probably don't do this, but I look at that. I hung it up on the mirror, so when I think ready in the morning. I'm like, all right, yeah.
I remember. That was. So like I said, you know, I'm there for younger comics or you, and you know, if you need some help and things like that. I've never given anybody anything on jokes, anything on. I'm always like, because I think, you know, your material will be your material and you'll get there. It's more what's annoying me about what you're doing right now on stage. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like you that night in particular, because you were newer, you were getting laughs. You stepped on, I think, every laugh you got.
Yep.
I remember Albert used to play Albert, you know, because he's friggin', you know, like the poster child for ADD.
Yeah.
He would be on stage flicking the mic cord around nonstop, chewing gum, like moving the seat back and forth. And I was like, and great material. And I'm like, the only thing I could focus on is that you were popping fucking gum on stage, which drove me nuts. I wanted to throw like a bottle at him.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're the things that I will, other than that, like I'm not, you know,
well, I think that's smart because it's choices. We're all making choices, and so, you know, infringing on people's choices are it. But yeah, pointing out the things that you're like, hey man,
they're what you're not going to notice because it could be a tick. Whereas if your jokes aren't landing, you're going to notice people not laughing at you. Yeah. You know, but you're not noticing that you're doing like something that, you know, it's like you're distracting the audience.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, you'll see so many people that are funny distract the audience with something, and I'm just like,
sometimes it's what they're wearing. I hate when people wear something that's like louder and funnier than them.
Yeah, it's like it's just there's so many stupid things like people who sit down, and it's like, I don't think you're a sit down guy. You know, like get up.
That's
like
right.
What are you sitting? Like there are people who can sit down. You're not that person.
No.
I don't know why. It's like there's just like that thing. Like you can sit down, but you can't sit down. Like I don't know. You better be really funny or old to like be like sitting down.
Well, like in helping with the comedy school, Joel's I see, and a lot of times these are just people that were like bucket list people, and that's great. Like the confidence I know I got from just getting up there and doing that is something everybody should experience, whether you want to have a Netflix special or not. You should experience that in your life where you feel like you have control. You're the singer-songwriter. You're making the shots. But it's amazing how many people try to sit down.
Oh, yeah.
Like right off the gate.
No,
so I'm like, stop, stand up. That's not. That's for
who
your
are you,
drink.
Mark fucking
that's for
Maron?
your drink
Like,
and your
what are you-
phone.
yeah.
Like you just put that there. That's a table.
Yeah, there's some thing. But that's the thing. Like when I took a class. Did you ever take a class?
I took an online Zoom class during the pandemic.
Okay.
So it was funny because I would be doing it at Joel's in the parking lot on a hotspot, and then I would end, and it would end right at time for me to then go out and then actually apply it and do a mic. So
I think doing
cool.
a class is a great idea for anybody. I did it with Chip Chantry.
I love Chip.
And Chip's the best. And that's what he focused on. Like he was like the same way. He was like, look, I can't teach anybody here how to be funny because he's not particularly very funny. And so I get that. I get why he would say that. But he definitely taught us that, he was the guy that was looking at what are you doing on stage? He was the one that said, take the stool, put the stool behind you, put the mic stand behind you. Things that you wouldn't think of to learn. And then he got into like this peer-to-peer shit, which you don't do that in any of like your classes.
What's that like?
It was like something with like jams or jellies that he was selling at the time. So I bought $300 worth
of bee honey.
And Chip said, you can sell this for double the price. Now I don't know what that had to do with comedy, but you're young.
Yeah.
You go right in, and so I got all this goddamn jam and jelly.
That you're still using. It's in the basement. It's been there for years,
and it's got Chip Chantry's face on it. And I'll tell you what, that face is not selling jelly.
That's not selling.
That's
jelly.
not a jelly selling face.
No, he's slumming it right now. I think he's on his way to Hawaii or something.
Yeah, I saw that. He's got like a fucking.
Yeah, I was just talking the other day. I'm like, because I called him because I was listening to Mike Birbiglia's podcast when Todd Glass was on.
Yeah.
And he dropped Chip's name like 7 times.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, dude, what the?
Oh, and we just did too. He probably he's going to get a fucking huge head over that.
I know. Because I text him, I'm like, hey, will you do this show for me? He's like, no, I got mentioned on Birbiglia's podcast 7 times, so I'm too big.
Going to Hawaii
I'm
now.
too big to do
this. I'm doing the Don.
He's like, he's like, call me when I get back from Hawaii. Maybe we'll talk.
He's doing the Tiny Bubbles tour.
Oh my God, he's so funny. He's and a teacher. He was a teacher too. Because he and I go into schools and do stand up for teachers as like a workshop, and it's been cool working with him. It's cool all the people you meet. You know what I mean? Like, but I think at your point, like the class can be super helpful for people up front. So that's why I've enjoyed doing it. We've been, I work for a comedy school in New York, and so I just do the books. I was doing all clerical stuff, but now I'm starting to help with that, and so it's kind of cool to be, because that was the guy I bought a book when I first started, and I was like, oh, I'm a teacher, I'll learn comedy from a book. And
what book was it?
It was Mastering Stand-Up.
Yeah, I think I have that book.
And so I work for him now, Steve Rosenfield, who's got the longest running comedy school in New York City.
Yeah, I think I definitely read that book.
And it's great because, he worked with Jess Kirsten, Michelle Buteau, Jim Gaffigan. He's been there for 36 years. So, but I've been running the school for the last 3.5 years now. And now I'm starting to run sessions, or I'm helping with this December virtual session there we got coming up. And so he's giving me the reins to do some smaller workshops, which is kind of cool. So, so it was like kind of neat because it's like, okay, this is now I'm getting to use teaching just in a different light. And, when I started coaching baseball, basketball, football over the years, I'm like, wow, I was so surprised how much I enjoyed that. Because it's like people are so invested in it. People are putting their money and effort and time.
Oh, yeah.
Versus, I have to sit in this class because I have to be here because I can't just be out on the streets.
Now, that reminds me.
Oh.
No, because you brought it up. You brought up the coaching.
Yeah.
And I remember a few years ago you came up to me and you said that you were thinking about coaching the diving team. And I said to you, I said, Jay, I never saw you dive before. I said, I never, I said, you don't even take your shirt off in the pool. I said, and then here's the thing. You took me to a pool.
I did.
And you showed me one of the most beautiful 3-point triple turn dives I've ever seen in my life with a shirt on.
Yeah, I know.
Which cut through the water. I've never seen cotton cut through water like that before. And, so it's like, I really do think you can do anything.
Well, I've been told I am graceful.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
You hit that water.
No, it was a kiddie pool, so I should have checked the depth.
At like 65 miles an hour. And I looked over and I said to the guy, I was like, I think he's dead. But
they're like, yeah, but we had all this extra jam that we put in the bottom, and he just
Chip Chantry, Chip Chantry jam.
It was there, saved my life.
That guy, man, he really is. He's a scoundrel. I mean the fact that that's you go in for comedy. Now you're $1,000 in debt.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't imagine. No, like every time.
But you do learn canning. I will tell you that. I learned canning in his comedy class.
That jam is not going to put itself in the charts. Oh, my God. You know what I mean? And his wife can't drive. So, it's just at least
I think all women should be allowed to drive. And I'll be the first one to say, on this podcast, I'm against that. Your theory on that. I think women should wear pants. I think they should be allowed to drive. I think they're allowed to manage a checkbook.
This is over. This talk is over.
No, I mean, look, everybody, I'm not here to point out anybody's, whatever your beliefs are, your beliefs, far be it from me to come here and try and change your mind.
You've tried. You're like, are you sure you want to do this? There's so many other things.
No, I mean, it's somebody clearly canceled.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah, that's right. I just don't want to be by myself. I just want my inner thoughts to be a person. Can my inner negative thoughts be a person? And then you showed up. I was like, oh, this is great.
I
don't think you're here. I think this is like Fight Club. I don't think you're real. I just got him making soap in the back.
I just bring up stories. There's a lot of stories.
Next thing you know, I'm gonna be making jam with my face on it by the end of this. Chip's footsteps. So where can people find you? Where?
Oh God, I coming up. I am going to be at the Stubborn Goat on December 5th.
Stubborn Goat.
Yeah,
I
December.
Like
I'm not doing. I didn't do a ton in October.
This is a tough year. This is time of year where everybody.
Well, I had shoulder surgery.
That's right.
So I was down for the count for all of October. Got back into it in November. Just had really good 3 shows last weekend. But then, December 5th, I'll be at the Stubborn Goat, and then I'm somewhere else. I mean, anybody can find me at Steve Bickel on Instagram, Facebook. I need to get some. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I think I just turn people off right away with the social media.
No, it's one of those things that it's like it's a free lottery ticket. You just keep
yeah,
putting it out there.
I do my thing. I think I post too much like cute kid shit.
Yeah.
I think I'm known as like he just puts cute kid shit on there.
Cute kid stuff. It can be endearing, but then it can also be triggering.
Yeah, because they're not that. They're not that good.
No, they are. Yeah, they're not. Because you're youngest. You've been putting a lot of daisies, right?
Oh yeah.
And
she's an acquired taste. Look wise,
I was like, I keep my wife away from me, but I'm like, we gotta sleep in different bedrooms. I saw what happened to Steve, and I'm not having surgery.
Oh God, yeah, that was. Whoo! Didn't see that one coming.
Didn't see that one coming.
Whoa, didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's she's a complete joy. But no. Yeah, that's the old reset on Nintendo, man. You got to watch that button.
I know. I stay away from that.
No pun intended. Got to watch that reset button on your wife.
I was like, hey girls, you have a nightmare? Come sleep with us.
Yeah, get on in there. Get right by the crotchal region. Because we're just a barrier.
Yeah, just need a barrier. Just something.
No, it is. It's I don't even remember having sex, and
the mailman does.
I don't think. Yeah, somebody, whoever has red hair out there, I don't know where the red hair. Not a person in the family. My wife swears she's Italian. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah, that's right.
There's no red hair on my side, but man, that kid's got a beautiful wavy locks of red hair, and
those recessive traits got in there somehow.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's what women have been telling men for years: recessive traits. But yeah, no. So yeah, so I'll be at the Stubborn Goat.
Stubborn Goat.
Stubborn Goat at Wacky Shack House on.
Well, good. And hey, you make sure you follow me, Jay Yoder Comedy, all the places. And thank you,
Are you still
Steve.
doing OnlyFans, or is that?
I am. I only have one fan.
No, I remember
fan.
a couple years ago you came to me and you said something about really focusing on feet stuff, and I said to you, I thought that was the way to go.
Well, I just thought knees. I think my knees are
good set of knees on you.
good set of knees.
I mean, you wouldn't think so.
No,
but,
no, you
but
wouldn't.
Man, calves.
Yeah,
Oh,
gams for
God.
days.
Suck on those bad boys.
Yeah, how about it? So, yeah, find me at Steve Bickel's Ho at onlyfans.com. I don't know, but I don't know if anybody's still listening, but if you are, we're very grateful, and we'll catch you next time on Jaywalking.